Yellowstone Season 5 continues to be a roller coaster. On one hand, I'm still baffled by how they killed off John Dutton. On the other hand, I love how grief is being portrayed in the show. It's emotional, heart-wrenching, and very realistic. In my opinion, if Episode 10 was the peak of experiencing grief on screen, then Episode 11 will be the one where the stakes rise so high that we witness some of the most brutal confrontations in the entire series. So without further ado, let's take a look at what will happen next in Yellowstone and see if the show will move in the way we expect. As I mentioned, this week's episode, Episode 10, balanced scenes of grief and tension and thrived in doing so. However, personally, I wasn't a fan of how much of the first half unfolded on the 4-6's ranch in Texas. Even though I generally like the way Taylor Sheridan praises and appreciates the Western lifestyle and culture, in this specific case, I felt like it stole focus from more important topics, such as unraveling the killers of John Dutton. Let me know what you think of that. Unfortunately, Episode 11 won't differ much from its predecessor in this sense. We'll still spend a lot of time on the 4-6's ranch, mostly through Beth and Rip's meetings. The episode will start with yet another visit from Beth, but this time, the visit will carry special importance. On her way home, Beth will sense that something is wrong back in Montana, and she'll be absolutely right as she picks up on John's murder. Another brief but important scene in Episode 10 was Rip's heartfelt dialogue with Lloyd, where they essentially partnered up to avenge John. Episode 11 will show this alliance growing even more as more bunkhouse members join Rip and Lloyd in their fight for revenge. But perhaps the most important topic of the episode will be the struggle to keep the Yellowstone Ranch. After all, there are lots of vultures desperately waiting for an opportunity to seize the land. As you might expect, the Duttons will face mounting pressure to sell the ranch, mostly due to inheritance tax complications. The issue is simple. They don't have the money to pay the taxes, which puts the land at serious risk. Jaime knows that his siblings are unlikely to sell, and we know the state doesn't have the funds to buy the land outright. However, if the taxes remain unpaid, the state could seize the property. This means that eventually the land might fall into the hands of market equities, John's ultimate goal. In Episode 11, we'll see Beth and Kayce discussing strategies to save the ranch, including renting out or even selling parts of it to cover the taxes. Selling even a small piece of land is radical for any Dutton, but to save the majority of the ranch, sacrificing a part of it might be the smarter choice. In the trailer for the rest of the season, Jaime is seen talking to Lyle, claiming their only option is to sacrifice the ranch. But we know Beth and Kayce would never do that. Let me know if you think there's a smarter choice to save the land. What would you do if you were in their shoes? One character who will shine in Episode 11 is Thomas Rainwater. He will discuss the future of the ranch with Kayce, offering solutions that could lead to Tate's triumph over the ranch and eventually allow the reservation to reclaim it. Of course, this outcome is still a couple of episodes away, but Episode 11 will plant the seeds for it. Do you think this is the solution that makes the most sense for Yellowstone Ranch? I can't wait to hear your thoughts.